This is me, and this is my current physique. I've been slim, skinny, lanky, you name it, all my life. But that's about to change, because for the next 30 days, I'll be following a strategic fitness routine to bulk up and build muscle. But this isn't just about vanity. More muscle mass is linked to greater longevity and smoother, younger looking skin. So how am I gonna do it? I'll be hitting the gym 3 to 5 times a week, working with professional trainers and using whole foods nutrition to fuel my growth. But it won't be easy. I have to commit to 1 full month of a challenge that most people wouldn't dare to try for a week. But the question is, will I be shredded in 30 days? There's only one way to find out. It's day 1, and I just ordered these hand weights at Target. I want to ease myself into this journey by seeing what I can do. I think I'm gonna find a YouTube video to help me out here and try and follow along so I'm doing something productive. I also bought these floor discs. Apparently they're good low impact tools for full body workouts. Okay, that was good, but I'm not really feeling the burn. I want to get a little sore. We'll see if we're sore tomorrow. I hope so, because that'll mean I'm actually doing something worthwhile. Okay, it's day 2, and honestly, I was hoping to be sore from yesterday, but I actually don't feel anything. I'm quickly realizing that I'm probably gonna need something more. I'm going to just do the walking pad today so I'm not working the same muscle groups as yesterday, and maybe do some floor crunches, but I'm gonna have to figure out a plan from here because working out at home by myself is probably not the answer for this challenge. Well, wouldn't you know it, I joined a gym. I'm outside Planet Fitness right now. I just joined this gym, Black Card member status. From what I heard, this is a fairly no-frills, judgment-free zone fitness center that has all the basics. Everything I need for this 30-day fitness journey. This is by no means sponsored by Planet Fitness, although I wish they would sponsor me since I am giving them a free plug here. This is actually my first time belonging to a gym, so I don't know entirely what to expect, but I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and see what I can get up to. Walking into the gym, I felt like I was in a completely foreign environment. I've never worked out in a gym before. Luckily, there weren't too many people here. I decided to warm up for 15 minutes on the treadmill, getting up to about 3.6 miles per hour. Then I headed downstairs to the weight room. In all honesty, the dumbbells seem a little daunting to me, so instead I opted for the machines. I had to look at the instructions on these things to try and decipher what they needed from me. As I worked with each machine, I really tried to push myself to the point of tension but not discomfort. It actually felt pretty good, even though I didn't entirely know what I was doing. I did full body today instead of just focusing on specific muscle parts. I pushed, pulled, worked my legs, and even my abs, although that machine hurt my neck a bit. I'm out of the gym. Phew, I am warm. Even though it says it's 28 degrees, I definitely built up a sweat. That was actually a lot of fun. I probably spent about 2 hours in there, which blows my mind. I never thought I'd say that I had fun going to the gym. I only stretched for like a minute before working out, so we'll see if I actually wind up sore the next few days. So don't get me wrong, the gym is great. And yes, there are paint swatches on the wall. It's honestly been refreshing to be around more people, given that my everyday is pretty solitary. I basically spend my entire day in my own cave, editing videos on a computer or watching 1930s dramedies that no one from this century has even heard of. So the gym does get me out of the house and out of my comfort zone. Plus, there's a lot of dedicated, muscly guys at the gym that I can gawk at for inspiration purposes, of course. But when I'm at the gym, I'm kind of just doing things with no real direction. That is, until I came across this steamy photo shoot with Tom Holland in Men's Health, with the accompanying article that outlined what he did to become so ripped for his role in the Spider-Man movies. Apparently Tom Holland, or who I like to refer to as Tom because we are friends, does a once weekly 1,500 rep mammoth workout. I can't even fathom what that might look like. The workout is basically a stepwise increase in the number of pull-ups, dips, push-ups, sit-ups, and power squats. Since this entire workout involves pull-ups and dips, I bought this power tower online, which probably took an hour to put together and was a workout in itself. And to take inspiration from Tom, I'm gonna do my best to do his 1,500 rep mammoth workout once a week during this month-long fitness challenge. I'm starting his workout with 1 pull-up rep, 2 dip reps, 3 push-ups, 4 sit-ups, and 5 power squats. Now I double each of those reps until I reach 10 pull-ups and all the way up to 50 power squats. As soon as I got to the point in the workout where I was at the 5 pull-up reps and 25 power squats, I knew I couldn't go any further. I'm meant to work my way down the ladder. I don't think I can go any further. All in all, I did a quarter of the full mammoth workout, which actually works out to an impressive 375 reps. Oh, I can really feel it in my biceps. Only took me about an hour, so not bad, I guess. I just got in the car and I'm on the way to work out with a personal trainer at her studio. I'm excited to be working with another human being and actually learn from someone who knows what they're doing and can teach me what to do independently so that I'm not going to the gym and just running on a hamster wheel, not really getting anywhere. So I'm here, I'm parked, and now ready to go head inside for my training session. This is now my personal trainer, Amanda. She's a certified personal trainer and fitness nutrition specialist with over 21 years of experience. She's going to be helping me out on this 30-day and beyond fitness journey. She started out by having me stretch, something we already know I don't do enough of. And for the actual workout portion, when I say we worked hard, I'm not exaggerating. We worked on biceps, we did curls, and we even worked the glutes. And now that we're done with the workout, I honestly feel good. I'm really glad that I did that. We worked muscles I didn't even know I had. Amanda is amazing, very knowledgeable, challenged me in a good way. I'm working with her once a week, hopefully to get those biceps pumping. She said I'll probably be sore over the next couple of days, so we'll see how that plays out. She also said I need to up my protein intake to help with muscle recovery, as well as with building muscles, obviously. So I'm gonna go home and see if I can find some protein. I'm home. I'm going to attempt to make a high protein lunch just to fuel those muscle cells after that fitness session I just had. And of course, I'm gonna make this lunch anti-aging, which is something I talk about on this channel quite often. I have this protein powder, which is a blend of pumpkin seed, pea, sunflower seed, chia seed. It actually contains all the amino acids, all the essential amino acids. I also just finished a whey-based protein, and it was a chocolate flavor, which is yummy. I do have to say that the protein trend that's happening right now is very interesting. I'm seeing things like protein popcorn, protein chips. I think even Starbucks is introducing protein added to cold foams and lattes. I'd actually love to hear what goes down in the food exec meetings where they're making fleeting decisions based upon what's trending on social media at any given moment. Okay, food production team, we need a new product idea and we need it now. Let's go around the room. Tom, what do you got for us? My name's George. Go! Okay. Well, the idea I had was no. John, what do you have for us, son? Okay, now hear me out on this one. What is one of our most popular products, the products we sell the most of? Bottled water? Yes. Now, we take the water and we add, stay with me here, protein. Protein to water? That's genius. What? Genius? Yeah, protein's really trendy right now. Exactly. The Kardashians have a popcorn with protein, right? Starbucks has started adding protein to their coffee. Yep. Everybody's going crazy for this stuff. It's like crack. Ugh, good work, John. Okay, wait a minute. So we're taking a plastic bottle with tap water in it, which we're already upcharging the public for anyway, and then adding protein, piling on more unnecessary costs for the consumer. Yes, it's called doing business, Tom. Get with the program. Okay, but aren't plenty of people getting a surplus of calories anyway? I mean, they're probably getting enough protein, if not more protein than they need. Well, what's your solution then? Well, I mean, most people aren't getting enough fruit and vegetable. I mean, what if instead of the protein we add to the water, we add fiber? Ew, gross. What? Most people aren't getting enough fiber anyway. I mean, it supports colon health. Plus, it's cheaper than processed protein powders, which we will have to add if we go with John's idea. But protein is hot, it's now, it's sexy. There's nothing sexy about nourishing your colon. Well, I just want our customers to be healthy as well as happy, particularly if they don't have to pay more than they have to. You're fired. What? Oh. What if, in addition to the protein, we add AI? Amazing. Okay, I quit. But I actually do need extra protein since I'm working out more. And I'm gonna try and get my protein intake from whole food sources for the most part, versus just heavily relying on processed protein powders. And that's why I made this protein bowl, which has over 50 grams of protein for the entire dish. I used the free version of Chronometer to calculate the macros. Very helpful app, I must say. Also using it to track calories because I'm trying to gain weight on this 30-day journey and I need to know that I'm increasing my caloric intake appropriately. But in the protein bowl, I've included spinach for folate, helps to lower homocysteine and inflammation, lentils, again for folate, as well as protein and fiber and complex carbs for energy, avocado for potassium, and actually good fat for skin, according to some research, salmon for its massive protein content and its anti-inflammatory omega-3s. You can also see the pumpkin and sunflower seeds, which I've included for vitamin E and magnesium, and some protein as well. And of course, a black bean brownie for dessert, also with fiber and protein from the black beans. All right, so now I'm gonna chow down and fuel those muscle cells. Whew, that was good. It also didn't feel like a lot of food, which is great considering how much protein and calories was in the overall dish. I'm going to attempt to make my own homemade protein bars, just something extra I can supplement, but I need to make them healthier. I usually don't like buying store-bought protein bars just because they tend to be either high in sugar or carbs or oils or things that I just don't want. I want something simple, clean, if you will. For the protein bars, I'm going to use allulose as the sugar-free sweetener, unflavored protein powder, inulin fiber, coconut flour, almond butter. These are actually looking pretty dry, so I'm gonna add a touch of maple syrup, as well as some almond milk. Mix those together, pat into place, cut into 12 squares, and voila, 20 grams of protein per serving in these homemade protein bars. They're really dry. I'm still gonna eat them. 20 grams of protein for just a tiny square like this, kind of a no-brainer. I really need to start stretching before my workouts. Oh, what are these? These are my blue light blocking glasses. I know they look weird. They're supposedly good for increasing melatonin and growth hormone. I don't need to explain myself. I'm wearing them, okay? So I'm finally gonna do a legit stretch today. I probably should do it before I get on this contraption. Dynamic stretching is great for just warming up and improving range of motion, which can help reduce risk of injury. But I just found some interesting research that says to do short, controlled stretches that are loaded with some type of weight. For example, after doing dumbbell presses, I keep the weights in my hands and lower my arms into the bottom fly position, holding for 30 to 40 seconds. Or after pull-ups, I simply hang from the bar for around 30 seconds. So this type of high tension stretching may help to support increased hypertrophy or building of the muscle, potentially helping you to become more efficient at building your muscles. I tend to overdo things, so I have to be careful not to overstretch when I'm doing these loaded stretching techniques. Otherwise, I'm gonna be over here looking like Stretch Armstrong doll. I thought the workouts would be the hardest part. I was wrong. Although I'm trying to stay optimistic about this 30-day challenge, I'm slowly starting to realize that this is not gonna be easy. There are only so many hours in a day. Between sleeping, working, and making healthy meals, all that time adds up fast. Now I'm squeezing in an extra hour or even 2 hours of workouts every day. It's starting to get really intense. And I keep asking myself, is 30 days really enough to move the needle? Obviously, working out like this every day isn't sustainable, but this is a challenge I promised myself I would do. And I always keep promises to myself. So it is day 15 in this fitness journey, and we're traveling to see family today. So before we go to the airport, I'm going to squeeze in a workout here at home. I'm going to do a modified Tom workout before I have to pack up the rest of my things and head out the door. The thing about traveling is you often lose the whole day trying to get to your destination, and most of the movement is just walking out the door. I didn't get much exercise while on the plane. I just relaxed until we got there. Luckily, the hotel had a fairly nice gym. I think I was in that gym 2 hours every other day while we were on the trip. However, when we got back home from the trip, I quickly realized I was coming down with something. I don't know if I picked something up from family or from people on my flight or from a woman who I was talking to who breathed in my face while telling me she was just getting over a cold. Either way, my energy and my motivation are at an all-time low. As the next couple of days went on, I just stopped working out. I felt like I could work out, but did I want to? While I laid around, I invited myself to a pity party spiral after seeing mean comments about me on TikTok, especially the seemingly insurmountable ones on how I looked weak or criticized my appearance in some way. These comments probably made me feel worse than even the slight cold I may have previously had. But I reminded myself these people are probably not very happy. And the only meaningful thing they're doing is trying to tear someone down. I realized if I want to be the best person I can be for me and those around me, I have to get up, stop feeling sorry for myself, and move forward with my goals, pushing past the noise, past the obstacles that are in my own mind, and putting in the work to be a stronger, healthier me. Certainly only in the beginning of my fitness journey. There's a lot more to do and a long way to go. But the thing I'm most proud of on this journey is my ability to show up consistently. Because if I can be consistent at this, working hard every day toward a goal, then I can be consistent at anything I set my mind to. I haven't worked out like this before ever in my life. Have you seen any gains?
Any gains in your muscle? I definitely have.
Do you think I can actually push through this challenge and complete it and many more?
When you set your mind to something, you pretty much always do it. So I have faith.
There really are no limits other than the limits that we set for ourselves in our own minds. It's honestly funny how something as simple as a workout can completely transform your worldview and fundamentally fuel the actions that you take in life. And even though I didn't become insanely shredded in the social media sense, I did gain muscle, I did transform. And I also think I found a healthier, stronger sense of self. And if we're all being honest with ourselves, I think that's something we're all searching for.